Tonight, I want to say to the 2,000 Democratic Labour Party supporters in the St. George North constituency who for various reasons stayed away from the polls in the last 2 elections, the time is right for you to return this seat to the Democratic Labour Party by voting for me in the next general elections, so that the constituency can have a caring, committed, community-minded representative with a vision for the future, and one whom you can all be proud of whenever he speaks in public. Ladies and gentlemen, the future looks bright. Help is on the way. This Democratic Labour Party slate of candidates is the only team for the times. We will not be dictated to. The tone and agenda of this election will be set by us. And they must know that. They must know, they must also know that entering a race already in progress is always going to be a difficult task. We have trained for a sprint, but we have the stamina for a marathon. Ladies and gentlemen, it is important for me to compliment our parliamentary group, led by Comrade Leader David Thompson, for stoutly defending the party's philosophy and offering reasonable alternatives to the government's policies, and to simply be able to keep their sanity intact in the face of the rambling, for it goes all the way back to the Mosquito Boy days of Sir David Simmons, all the way to the US dollar facility at St. Philip. Fellow Barbadians, here are some questions you must seek answers to, because we have not been fortunate to get any response. The Empire Theatre was to have been transformed into a state-of-the-art facility since 1996. Why has it taken this long? Will Lord Nelson remain in our National Heroes Square forever? And in whose hands does the decision lie? Millions of dollars were spent on a constitution review to commence Republican status. Can we please get an update? Where is the promised national sports policy and national youth policy? Greenland was promised since 2000. Have all the retrofits been retrofitted? Has EduTech transformed the educational system as it was supposed to? Does the incumbent for St. George North still believe that the money spent on GEMS was a waste of time? Why did the contractor and not him tell the Barbadian public of the increased cost for the highway project when he wasn't good enough voice to make a call from Canada or wherever the hell he was to the Nation newspaper? Why, as Minister of Public Works, has he failed to address the needs of the other half of this constituency? And to him, was that a grand Calypsonian singing about him in that song, What for What? When will the findings of the St. Joseph Hospital report be made public? Why is the kitchen at the geriatric hospital still being used when it has been condemned by the Ministry of Health? Roy Watson did not tell me that. I have other sources. Where is the FBI report? Why did we spend $12 million Watson.